we're gonna stick and stay. I feel like I'm bootlegging, y'all. This is bootleg gardening. Rain, go away. I don't like the way she acted, and so therefore she's not gonna be in my garden. Some things that I have already decided not in the fall garden. Today is decision-making day. There are some things that I've decided about my fall garden plan, and in this video I'm going to share with you what those things are. I'm going to go through the things that I have said I am not planting this year. There's some things I'm going to bring back this year, and I just want to talk about my overall fall garden plan because I'm getting myself together for the fall. Thank you so much. If you are brand new here, thank you so much for joining me. I'm so glad that you stopped by. My name is Barbara. I live in the state of Tennessee, and I'm standing right now in my backyard because we're going to do a lot of things on this video. I'm going to go through my fall garden plan. I'm also going to talk through, like I said before, what I'm doing, what I'm not doing. We're going to start some seeds together for the summer. And then we got some other stuff to do to just kind of take care of some garden maintenance stuff. So we're just going to hang out in the garden today, not just in this space, but also in the outside garden and in the high tunnel. So it's all things fall. Like I said, if you're new here, please drop a hello in the comments. Let me know what city, state, or country you're coming in from so I can say hello back to you. And if you've been here before, hey, so glad that you are back rocking with me. Y'all, today we are under, this week it has been heat index. Y'all know I got to give you an update on the weather every time I come on because as much as it changes, it is constant. Lots of rain, lots of heat. We're under heat index. And so it's about an hour and a half before it gets dark is the only pleasant time that I can come out here. Right now, it's pretty pleasant. So that is a good thing. I want to thank the sponsor of this video, which is BetterHelp. BetterHelp makes getting therapy easy. And so it connects you with therapists all around the world. And so all you have to do is click the link in my description box. It's going to be the very first link at the top of the description box. Click that link and you'll be invited to fill out a questionnaire. That questionnaire is going to ask you, what do you need therapy for? What's your preference in terms of the therapist? And in as little as 48 hours, it is going to match you with a therapist. You can talk to that therapist via video, via text, via phone. And so it makes it getting easy. You don't have to get in your car and drive and go sit on someone's couch. All you have to do is click that link in the description box and they're going to connect you with someone in as little as 48 hours. I cannot tell you how therapy has helped me. Therapy used to be taboo, but I'm going to tell you right now, it's not taboo for me anymore because it has helped me through some very difficult times. The very first time that I did therapy that I can remember is after my mom passed away in 2014. I was in a very, very dark place. I was very emotional. I was very sad, as one can imagine, after losing a parent. And I really did not know how to move forward and how to focus. But I knew that I had a husband who needed me, and I had two small children that needed me at that time. And so I reached out and got therapy, and it did me a world of wonders. I still use some of the practices today that I learned many years ago in therapy. And so if you've never tried therapy or you're on the fence, I want to encourage you, click the link in my description box. Take that step, fill out the questionnaire, and give it a try. Also, when you click that link, you're going to get 10% off of your first month. So they make it getting easy. I've made it easy for you. Just click the link and you'll get 10% off of your first month. I cannot wait for you to try it, and I would love to hear how things go once you experience the comfort and the ease of using BetterHelp. Now, let's get back to the video. So let's jump off this video and let's talk about the fall garden plan. I've said before in previous videos that in the month of July, you have to have a dual brain if you want a fall garden. Dual meaning you're still tending to your summer garden, but you need to be focused on the next season ahead, which is fall. And July is the time that you plan your fall garden. And so I also want to remind you about the fall gardening workshop happening this Sunday in 2 days at the time of this video, or when it's going to go out. On Sunday, July the 26th from 2 to 4. You still have time to register. You have about 24 more hours to register and get your name in the workshop. The workshop is the Fall Garden Blueprint. I'm going to be live, but the class is virtual, so you can join in from anywhere. 2 o'clock Central Time on Sunday, July the 26th. I will be live to answer all of your questions and also to go through how you do a fall garden plan, what vegetables, herbs, and flowers that you can grow in the fall season, how to have season extension, and so that you have food up into and even sometimes past your first frost. I'm going to go through all of your questions. You will not leave with any question unanswered. And so if you know you need some help with the fall garden, you've never done it before, or it has not been successful, then make sure that you sign up for the workshop. The link will be in the description box. Y'all, I cannot believe this. It is sprinkling. Okay, y'all. We gonna stick and stay until it comes down, okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because I've been waiting all day to get outside, and now you decide to, why you didn't rain at 12 o'clock? Come on, y'all. Unbelievable, okay? So I'll reverse the order. I was gonna talk about the fall garden plan first, but first, let's just see if we can get some seeds started before it starts like pouring down rain. Pouring down rain. Unbelievable. Y'all, I'm scrambling now because I thought we were going to be clear of the rain. There was no rain in the forecast until later on tonight, but I see that is not the case. I just have some potting soil. When I say leftover, this is the last part that's in the bag that I have up here. Let's see if I got enough to do at least 4 6-cell trays. Let me know, how are things in your neck of the woods? I've heard from some of you that you are in a drought. You wish you had the rain that I had. Look, I wish you did too. I wish you did too. So some of you are in a drought, and then some of you are like me. It has been tons of rain, and the rain is great. The plants like it. But too much of anything is not good. And we're at the point now where we've had too much rain, and the plants are starting to show signs of it for sure. I think I have enough to fill up 4 6-cell trays. Maybe one more. Let's see if we can get one more. I also want to show you how our fall seedlings are doing that you and I planted together just last week. So they're about a week old. Everything is doing pretty well. And this is the wrong tray because this is a microgreen tray because it got holes in the bottom. But that's the only tray I got back here right now. And because I'm scrambling, because it's raining, we're going to have to do the best that we can because that's what it requires. The best that we can. I feel like I'm bootlegging, y'all. This is bootleg gardening because I don't have everything I need in the right order. But this is the best I can do, y'all. This is the best I can do. So I got 5 of these right quick. Y'all, it is coming down a little bit more heavy. Rain, rain, go away. Come back again. Another day next year. Oh my goodness. Okay, y'all. Let's hit pause. I'll be back. Okay, guys. I just ducked into the sunroom real quick. This is where our seedlings are. I'm going to turn the camera around so that you can see what they're looking like. And we're going to have to start seeds later on. Maybe it'll stop raining and I'll be able to come back out here outside today, or we may have to do it another day. But let me show you how our seedlings are doing. Okay, let's see if you can see. Overall, we have great germination. Everything is germinated 100% except the green beans. You can see I have an open spot. So you can see I have some open spots right here, and that one only have 1 out of 6. Then in the next block, I have like 4 out of 6. In the next block, 2 out of 6. And then the next one is 1 out of 6. All of those are green beans that I just showed you. So out of 24, I probably have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 24. Y'all, I've had the hardest time with green beans this year. I don't know if it's the seed or what it is, but everywhere else I have perfect germination. That's my alyssum. This right here is bok choy. This here is cabbage all the way down. Up here is our lettuce in the top. Middle is lettuce. And then this right here is our cucumber, Space Master. So that's summer seed. So this complete tray is looking great except the green beans. This is our second tray. These are all fall seeds in this one. These are the 2.5-inch pots. The first 3 rows are Brussels sprouts, perfect germination. The middle 3 rows are all broccoli, perfect germination. And then next to the last row is kale, perfect germination. It's hard to see, I'm sorry with the lights. And then collards, perfect germination. So they are looking great after 1 week. No issues whatsoever. Okay, guys, so I decided to just take a seat in the sunroom and we will talk about the fall garden plan here, and then hopefully we will be able to go outside and start some seeds together and also go to some of the other gardening spaces. But it is still raining outside, so we'll just proceed in here. It feels good in here, although I wish I could be outside. I have been craving to be outside all day. Y'all have been in the house for the past 2 days, really just dealing with the produce from the garden, as well as in between working. And so it has been full on, literally in the kitchen on my feet for the last 2 days. I did not record these past 2 days because I was doing mostly preserving stuff that I've already done or showed you, just like basic stuff. Most of my tomatoes, no, all of my tomatoes, I just cored and washed to put in the freezer. I have tons of them in the freezer already. And then I did peppers and just used the food processor to chop those up, put those in freezer bags. So it's stuff that you guys have already seen before and nothing too exciting on the preserving front. But I will do another preserving video when I'm back in the kitchen preserving either some new things or some new ways to do things. But I have been in the kitchen for the last 2 days on my feet. And so I didn't even go to the garden yesterday except to just, visually look around. And so I was really looking forward to going to the garden today. I did go out to the garden this morning, but it was just too hot. I was like, this is not safe. When I went in the greenhouse, I walked around just to put my eyes on everything. And I wanted to plant some stuff and do some stuff. And my body said, you should go now. And so that's what I did. So can you imagine? I'm waiting until the weather, the temperature goes down to go outside. And literally, y'all, when I turned on my camera, like you saw it in real life, that's how quick it started raining within 5 minutes of me stepping outside. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about my fall garden plan. And I've given some thought to this, and I wanted to share it with you because I think, if nothing else, I want to teach you to be intentional about what you plant. And again, I don't want to make gardening feels like it's hard and that it has to be so strict. But I do think that the more that you can plan your garden and be intentional, the more abundance you can have. And it's going to create less confusion down the line. Meaning if you know, hey, we're not eating that much and you planted 2 beds of it, then when that harvest comes in and it's looking all good and you don't even want to eat it, then you're going to feel like you've wasted your time. And so I have been there, and every season it's a readjustment. It's a recalibration of, okay, maybe I did too much of that. Maybe I didn't do enough of that. Oh, we're not really using it that way anymore. That type of thing. So I want to go through my fall garden plan. I'm going to start with the stuff that it's not going in my garden this year. It's just not going in my fall garden. So let's start with that list. I got a list because your girl's always writing stuff down. I got a list of no's and yeses. So let's start with the no's first. Some things that I have already decided not in the fall garden. Number 1 is cauliflower. After the way cauliflower treated me last fall, I'm done with her, okay? Now, I don't know if I'm done, but we definitely on a break. Y'all, I did not harvest 1 head of cauliflower last year. Everything was diseased with some kind of worm or something on it. It turned brown. I don't know what happened, but it happened. Now, I have grown cauliflower in the past successfully. It has been hit or miss for the last 5 years. And I would say more miss than hit. If I had to, out of the last 5 years, I think I've had successful cauliflower two of the fall winters, and 3 of them were horrible. Last year was horrible. That I was like, why am I doing this? Because I don't even like you that much. Like, I like you, but I don't love you. And I also found the year before, when I had a great cauliflower year, I realized that we just didn't eat the cauliflower as much as as I grew. In my mind, I envisioned making cauliflower rice and all that. And y'all, I still to this day ain't had cauliflower rice. I think somebody needs to trick me and put it on my plate, and I don't know it's cauliflower rice, and I eat it and like it, versus me taking the time to make it and think that I'm gonna like it. Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a mental thing. I've heard that it's good. It can be used in place of potato. Come on, y'all. You come on. You telling me that cauliflower gonna taste like mashed potatoes? Okay. Anywho, but I've heard you can use it as a side dish. And so the thought of that is novel to me, but it has not yet become my reality. I've never tasted riced cauliflower. And so I think somebody just need to trick me. And then I'm like, oh, I like this. And then maybe. So that's a long way around of me saying that we didn't use the cauliflower. Then I thought I was going to fry the cauliflower. And I did a couple of times. And I do love roasted cauliflower. But for whatever reason, during the fall and winter, I did not gravitate to the cauliflower in my freezer. I gravitated towards the broccoli and fresh bok choy and fresh cabbage and collard greens and kale. Like, if I'm picking between all those, cauliflower like down here. So that means, like, if you gonna treat me like that, you don't even have a space. Y'all remember, like, back in the day when you were dating somebody, and I mean not in your adult years, I mean like high school, you know what I'm saying, to play. Now, if you married your high school sweetheart, do not be offended. Most of us did not marry our high school sweetheart, okay? So I'm talking to those people. So you remember back in the day in high school when you had, the kids of 2026, I don't know what they be calling their friends, associates. They don't say dating. I don't know. They be doing something different. Back in my day, we called it boyfriend and girlfriend, okay? If you are in my day, and you understand what I mean when I say boyfriend, girlfriend, then just put boyfriend in the comments, okay? So I know who's tuning in. If you are of a certain age, then you know what I'm talking about, okay? So, y'all, this is what happens when y'all take me from outside in the garden and I come in here and start just talking. We get all off we're going to get back to about what I'm growing. My point is this. When you had a boyfriend back in high school, you play the whole game. Oh, he called me last, then I can call him. Or, he acting funny. Well, if he acting funny, I mean, I'm just going to go the other way. I'm just going to be cold. You know what I'm saying? I remember back in high school, there was this guy that I liked that, let's just say I liked him more than he liked me. Okay. We've all been there. We've all been there. And he was trying to play like he liked me. I mean, like, one day he liked me, one day he didn't. And I had this guy friend, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, I really like this guy. I don't really understand how to, perceive like his actions and all that. And he said, he not that into you. Oh my goodness. It don't matter now. I don't care. I've been married for 28 years. I mean, that guy probably, I don't know, bald and ugly. Who knows? I don't even know. But the point is, he was like, look, if he is not into you, then don't be into him. He was like, when he come around, just make it ice cold. Now, I was not the one to tell that to, okay? Because when I tell you, the next time he came around, he needed a parka, okay? Y'all, what am I saying? What I'm saying is I'm mad at cauliflower. That's what I'm saying. I don't like the way she acted, and so therefore she's not going to be in my garden. But plus, for real, I don't be eating her like that, okay? So that's number one. Number two is arugula. Miss Arugula, not in the garden this year. I grew arugula 2 years in a row, grew it fine, and I just did it because I don't even like arugula, okay? So y'all, this is a lesson because I tell y'all stuff, grow what your family eats, right? That is the primary. But when you have your own garden, I do also encourage you to play into experiment because there may be some things that your family doesn't eat because you didn't grow up eating it. It wasn't in your culture, or maybe you had it store bought and you're like, I don't like it, but you may like it fresh, all the things. So the reason why I don't like arugula is that I don't like that bite, that peppery, spicy, like lettuce shouldn't be spicy. Lettuce should be lettuce, okay? And I know that arugula is not lettuce, but they're cousins, okay? So I don't like arugula, but I want to just see if I can grow it. I just want to say, oh yeah, I know how to grow arugula. So it was really an experiment. I grew it just fine, but y'all, I didn't eat it. So I thought to myself, well, I will sell it, but I didn't sell it. So I kept saying I was going to put it on a sandwich. I kept saying I was going to put it on some pizza. I didn't do none of the stuff because again, I don't know. And so here's the thing, y'all. Once you see your pattern and you like, look, I'm just playing around. I'm not finna eat that. At least not in the year of our Lord 2026. I may eat that in 2027. I may try it again. Or maybe I will have it somewhere, in which I've had like arugula on a sandwich or whatever. And I'm like, I'll bite it. I'm like, I don't like it. Take it off. That type of thing. Maybe I'll have it one day and I like it and we'll come back to it. But for 2026 in the year of our Lord, it's not going to make it into the garden. Decisions have already been, the executive committee has met and you're not making it into the garden. Okay. Okay. So those are the hard no's. Okay. Now let me tell you about somebody who has been a no just about every year and they didn't slip back into the yes category. And that's beets. Y'all, we're going to try beets again this fall. Now, if you've been here for the last 5 years, I have not grown a single beet successfully. I have put beet seeds in the ground. I have started them ahead of time. I have direct sown them. I have tried many different kinds in many different places. And to this day, I have not grown a beet that looks like anything. It was like maybe this big around, but not like a real beet. Why? I don't know. Y'all have seen me grow tons of stuff. These hands are gifted by the Lord, but for whatever reason, these hands have not been successful with beets. Now, if you've been here, you know, I don't like beets either. Not for real. Now you probably think, well, what does this girl like? All the other stuff that I'm growing, I like. I love. Beets, I don't like, but y'all keep telling me to make them roasted. And so I want to try them roasted because you guys told me that about radish. I didn't think I liked radish. But your girl likes radish now. I don't love it. I like it. And I ate plenty of it last fall and winter because it's good roasted. And so I figure you guys told me about the radish. I did it and I liked it. So the beets should be the same way. But I got to be able to grow them first, y'all. Then I just want the beet powder. So even if I don't like the beets roasted, then I want the beet powder because my husband uses it in his smoothie and it's like high in nitrous, nitrous oxide, I think. It's really good for you. And then also I have juiced beets before. Now, not just by itself, with a whole bunch of other stuff. And so I do want some beets. Even if I cannot eat them, I will juice them and or make beet powder because beet powder is like $50 for a canister. So if I can grow it, even better. So beets are going to get some real estate. They are back on the list. Now, if you are a beet extraordinaire, go ahead right now, pause, put me some advice down in the comments about growing these beets. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know. And one of you viewers reached out to me via email and offered to send me some beet seeds. So thank you so much. I cannot remember the name, but if you're listening, you know who you are. Thank you for reaching out. And she is going to send me some beet seeds. Now, I do have some beet seeds that I bought. I have these right here called Touchstone Gold beets. Again, I like them because they're pretty. And I've heard the golden ones don't taste like the earth. Okay, because beets taste like the earth. Okay. That's another thing that's not going in my garden, which she got kicked out of my garden like 2 years ago. But for those who are new, in case you're wondering, Swiss chard, No. I tried Swiss chard. I had never had Swiss chard. I never even heard of Swiss chard growing up. Not my upbringing. But I was willing to try it. Now, I love it growing in the garden because it's beautiful. I love the leaves. I love the wrinkly. I love all the colors. But the taste, it tastes like the earth. No, thank you. And so Swiss chard don't make it in my garden. I might bring her back one day for one plant just for the beauty because I think she's pretty. But I don't like it at all. Okay, so back to beets. So beets is going to get in my garden this year. Now, on my yes list are things that are already in my garden, but I've thought about how we eat these things and how we use these things. And so there's some things that I'm like, I need to grow more of, and there's some things that I need to grow less of. So first on the list after beets is cilantro. I've always grown cilantro, but last year was not a good cilantro year. And so I think I got a jar. I take the cilantro and I freeze dry it and I use it throughout all the year. And I use a lot of things with cilantro. And so I love it freeze dried. It has a great flavor, all the things. And I'm down to like this much in my jar. And I think I have one more freeze dried pack left. And so that should last me up until the fall. But I'm right at the cusp. I want to have more freeze-dried cilantro in my pantry, in my short-term, long-term storage, all the things. So I don't know what happened to my cilantro last year, but I put a note, I'm going to do way more cilantro. So on my notes that you can't see, I got cilantro ×3. That's just telling me I want to plant, twice as much as I did last year. So the first part is for me to identify what I'm growing in my fall garden plan. And then what I will do is I will actually map out my beds. And so if you guys want to see that, or have me talk through it, I'm happy to do that. Just let me know and I can do that in an upcoming video. So for those that are new, I have 3 main gardening spaces. Where we started the video was in my backyard. I have 5 raised beds back there. And then I have a in-ground growing space that's 4,000 square feet. And then I have a 30 by 96 high tunnel. So out of those 3 spaces, all of those are in production in the summer. But in the fall and winter, I'm only growing in my high tunnel. I think we're going to get to that. So what was I saying? So in terms of mapping out my spaces, I want to map out what I'm growing because I'm taking 3 spaces and I only will be using 1. That means I have 6 raised beds and I have 5 rows that are 45 feet in length. And so I need to maximize my space with the stuff that I'm really eating, really using, and all the things. Okay. So cilantro, I want to do more of that. Spinach, I want to do way more spinach. Y'all, I don't have any spinach left in my freezer. I told you about the spinach variety that I grew last year called Jerry Nook from Johnny's. It was the best tasting spinach I have ever tasted in my entire life. Something about that spinach was so good that I want more of it. Like, I want tons of it, okay? So we're going to do more spinach. Collards, I need more collards. I don't have any collards left in my freezer. So I grew a lot of stuff last year, and I had a whole row, 2 rows of collards like I normally do. But I went through it much faster because I had 2 big dinner parties, and I did collards for a whole big group on both of those dinner parties. And so that took my collard green stash all the way down, right? Because, to feed a lot of people, you got to have tons and tons of collard greens, which they all came from my garden. And I did that twice, but that meant I didn't have any collard greens still left over now in July. And what I try to do is I try to grow enough of a crop to last me a year until I can grow that crop again. And so on collards, I don't have any collards. I don't have any spinach. And I have 2 bags of kale left in my freezer. Now, it's July. That kale is not going to make it until I have kale again. I probably will have kale again by September. I will probably use this kale within the next 30 days. But I'm close. But that tells me I need more kale. We did a ton of kale salads. Well, I did a ton of kale salads last fall. I did a ton in smoothies. I was eating kale salad like every single week. Like, it was full on kale. I was using it for breakfast in the morning. I was using it in omelets, like all the stuff. And so I want to grow more kale. Broccoli, also on the list. I want to grow more broccoli. I have still yet, I'm not a broccoli expert. I grew broccoli successfully last year and the year before, but it was just enough to eat fresh. I have still yet to fill my freezer with broccoli, and that is a goal of mine, is to fill my freezer with broccoli because I love broccoli. I buy broccoli every single week from the grocery store when I'm eating it out of season. And yes, that is one thing I will eat out of season because that's how much I love it. Matter of fact, we're going to have broccoli tonight. I eat it at least once a week. I absolutely love broccoli. And so it would be so nice if I could grow my own and have it in my freezer where I could just pull it out of my freezer. I have yet to do that. I have struggled with broccoli for many reasons, but thank you guys for your suggestions on what variety to grow. And then carrots, I'm going to do a bed of carrots and that's it, and do one planting. I'm not going to do a second because I find that I'm not going through the carrots as fast. Now the carrots I store for up to a whole year. I have a whole video on how I do that. I have carrots in my refrigerator right now that are still good, still crunchy, still crispy, all the things, right? And I have plenty until I can have carrots again. And that was just one planting and that was sufficient. Okay, on radishes, I grew way too many radishes last fall than I use. Even though I am eating them, I'm not eating them as fast as much as I grew them. So I'm gonna reduce the amount of radishes and I'm gonna reduce the amount of lettuce. Last year, I probably had like 2 beds full of lettuce. I can't eat them because I was gonna sell some of it. Now, you know, if I had lettuce to sell right now, I'd be sold out because of the virus. But I'm not going to do 2 beds of lettuce. I'm going to do probably half of a bed and then a lot probably in my green stalks or something like that. So I'm reducing the amount of lettuce because lettuce is something easy that I can do. And if I have too much of it, you can't preserve lettuce. So if I have enough, if I have a lot, I have to sell it. If I'm not selling it, then I don't need that much for my own family's consumption, okay? And then cabbage. So what I'm going to be doing different about my cabbage this fall, my goal is to succession plant my cabbage more instead of doing a whole bunch at one time. The reason is because, again, with cabbage, I prefer to eat it fresh. So either fresh in a coleslaw or fresh, steamed, cooked, or something like that. I don't prefer to freeze it. I don't prefer to freeze dry it. To me, when I've frozen it, it loses the texture. And I don't like that. It's not the same. Now, can you use it like in a soup or something like that? Yeah, you can. But to take it out of my freezer and to steam it or fry it or whatever you do with cabbage from the freezer versus doing it fresh, it's a completely different taste. And I would just prefer not to do that. So cabbage, what I've been doing is putting in a lot at one time. And that means they're all mature at one time. So when I have 20 cabbages, there's no way I can eat all of those. Now they will store for a while, but I can't go through that many that fast. And so I would prefer to just stagger my cabbage harvest and start some maybe every 3 or 4 weeks. And that way it's coming mature at a certain time, okay? So one of the things that I've realized is that over the last, I would say, year or so, we have sold less produce than we have in years past, okay? And that's just a fact. And that's okay. It doesn't bother me at all because we make way more income through our farm store than we do selling produce. And so it doesn't bother me that we're not selling produce as much. I do still sell it, but it's not as much as I was selling it before. And a lot of that has to do with my schedule and just how busy I am. And so either people may want to come on farm and buy the produce or they want me to meet them somewhere. And my schedule is just so tight that it's hard for me sometimes to take a day to drive 45 minutes to meet somebody with an order. Like, it really has to be worth my while. Like, I can't meet you for a $20 order with 2 kales and 2 broccolis. I can't do that for 45 minutes away, because when I do that, I'm losing 2 to 3 hours out of my day. And if you don't know, if you're new here, I have two businesses. I have the farm business and I have my primary HR consulting business. And my husband is in ministry, so we travel a lot for ministry events. My schedule is, it is very ordered and my time is very limited, okay? And so it is much easier and much more profitable for us to have orders online. And thank you for all of you guys who support our shop and buy the things that we sell. It is such a blessing and we appreciate it. That is so much easier than me meeting somebody 45 minutes away for two heads of broccoli and 2 things of kale. And again, I don't mean that to be mean. It's just, I've always talked about either you're going to spend time or you're going to spend money, right? And you have to, when your time is limited, you have to really protect your time and put boundaries around your time. I said all that to say that we haven't been selling as much produce for lots of various reasons. And so if we're not going to be selling at the level we were selling before, then I need to adjust what I'm planting and really focus primarily on what me and my family are eating and how we're going to use it. And I would encourage you to do the same. Now, you may not be selling food, but I do encourage you, think about how you used your food last fall and winter. What did you run out of? What did you need more of? And so that way, when you're planting your fall garden, you're doing your seeds, you have taken that into consideration, okay? So that is pretty much my fall plan. So it's an overview. But goodbye, cauliflower and arugula. Send my hello to beets, and then all the other stuff. We have a plan on how much we're going to do in relation to last year, and then we're going to succession plant out our cabbage. One other thing I wanted to talk about is my flower for the fall and winter is alyssum. I did this last year. It was so beautiful. Y'all know that I love flowers. You know that I love color in the garden. I want my garden to be beautiful. And it's hard to have a beautiful garden in the fall and winter because there's so many things that are not colored. They're all green. The things that are colored grow under the ground, so you don't see them when you're walking through the garden, like the carrots and the beets. That stuff is underground. You're not going to see that, the purple or the red beets or the orange carrots. And so I try to put in pops of color in my garden so that it still feels beautiful and it still feels inviting, and it just makes me happy. So I'm going to do a ton of alyssum. I'm toying around with, now last year I did my green stalks out here, and I told y'all to tell me that if I said I was going to do these green stalks again, for y'all to tell me, no, you're not, because you said you weren't going to do it, and here's the reason, because you didn't pay attention to them. And that's true, y'all, I didn't. But, I don't think I'm going to do the green stalks out here, like for winter time, but the 2 green stalks by my greenhouse or my high tunnel, because I'll be in and out of there, I'm thinking about doing those green stalks. Either way, I want to put some alyssum in there because that'll be a nice backdrop. And then I'm also going to do some pansies. We're going to attempt pansies. Pansies are difficult. So I did have some start from seed last year. They did not survive as well during the winter. And pansies are supposed to, so I don't know if it was the variety I got or whatever, but we're going to try again. If not, then we'll just buy some. That's what we'll do. Okay, so that is the flower plan for the fall is alyssum, and pansies will be the primary flower, as well as we will have some snapdragons in the fallish time frame. And by winter, the snapdragons, yeah, they'll be okay until a certain point. But then also, I just thought about it, I need to also add in some calendula. I will be starting some of that as well. And that'll be more for the fall. It won't really take in the winter. So that's the plan. In terms of herbs for the fall garden, it's just whatever I have out there. So the herbs that will last in my fall garden all throughout the year, 24/7, is rosemary for sure. Sage, which I don't have any sage in my garden right now, but rosemary and the thyme, oregano, all of those will be just fine. The basil obviously will go away after the summer. And what else? Yep, I think that's it. So hopefully you guys are getting your fall plan together. Let me know in the comments if there's something that you've already evicted from the fall garden before you even got in, something that you're not growing, that you've who in the comments. I just want to know who Who on the outs with the cauliflower and arugula from my side of the town? Let me know. Hey guys, it's the next day. I got suited and booted, get ready to go outside, got my seeds, got my plan, and it's raining. It is raining yet again. So I'm not gonna start seeds this morning, and I looked at the forecast. It's supposed to be raining all day until like 5 p.m. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video now. You guys have seen me start seeds before. So I've kind of walked through my fall garden plan. What I was gonna start today was going in those things that we got ready together, the 6 cell trays. I had, I think, 4 of those or 5 of those. So let me get my paper. I was gonna do some squash. I was also gonna do some green beans again and purple whole peas. That's for the summer. And so I'll talk about that in an upcoming video, probably as we head into August in the next succession. But from a fall standpoint, what I was gonna start today was alyssum and my pansies. And so I'll keep talking through my fall garden plan and letting you guys know what I'm starting and when. And so I'm doing several successions of fall seeds. And when I say several, I'm doing several successions, but I'm also planting my stuff at different intervals. So successions meaning, you know, I may be doing cabbage now and then cabbage 3 weeks later. I'm doing that type of succession, but then I'm also just staggering my harvest. So like, for now, I haven't started my cilantro yet. I haven't put my carrot seeds in the ground. I have not put my beet seeds in the ground because, again, I am working through the space that I'm going to have and when it's going to be available, and I am timing my stuff related to that. So the seeds that I showed you that are doing well, that is like my first round. I'll be doing a second round probably next week. But this week, I was just going to do a couple of fall seeds for spaces that I have open. Excuse me, a couple of summer seeds for the stuff that I have open right now. And then I was gonna do my pansies and my alyssum. Pansies because they can take up to 20 days to germinate. So I wanna go ahead and get those started. And then the alyssum, I just need more. And I had the thought of filling my green stalks with some alyssum. So that's why, and they grow slow as well. They germinate fast, but they grow slow as well. So that's why I was gonna start those today. So we'll get them started at some point in the next, hopefully 24 to 48 hours, but you guys have seen me do that before. And I'll certainly give you an update next week when we come back and talk about the fall garden, and I'll show you how our seedlings are doing, just kind of like I do when we're planting seeds for the summer. So let me know what questions you have about my fall garden plan. Let me know what you are evicting out of your fall garden plan, what you're not gonna plant, and anything new that you're trying that you are going to plant. I would love to know. And then also, don't forget, you have only a day or two to sign up for the Fall Garden Blueprint Workshop that's happening this Sunday, July the 26th. So if you have questions, let me know. I will meet you in the comments. Remember, y'all, this is all a journey. Let's do it together. I'll see you next time, friend. Thanks so much for stopping by our channel. And if you would, take a moment and go to our website at livingfoodsfarm.com. You can see all of the latest YouTube videos in case you missed one. You can subscribe to the channel, sign up for our email list, as well as join our YouTube membership. Also, we have many items for sale under the shop tab. You can go to kitchen or to skin and body, depending on what you're looking for. We source many of the items right here from things that we grow on the farm, or we buy from an organic source. We also have digital resources as well that you can instantly download. We have everything from seed starting calculators, how to build healthy soil, as well as 2-hour classes, replays on sourdough, canning, and fall gardening, and how to start your garden for the very first time. So go take a look, see if there's anything that you would be interested in, and thank you so much again for stopping by our channel.